Hi guys, it's Papa G, and I thought I would come on and do my first reaction video. Now, I've seen many reaction videos, and I thought, wouldn't it be neat if someone who has written over a dozen books on the occult owns a metaphysical store? My husband and I own a Roman G's Botanica in Nashville for 24 years, and I actually cast spells for people. So who would be better? I'm sure there's lots of people who might be better, but I'm here and we're going to start looking at different occult and metaphysical and witchy movies and comment on them, laugh a little bit about them sometimes, and see what they got right, see what they got wrong, and see all the places in the middle where some of us might disagree. So I thought, what better way to start? It's almost Halloween, by the way. Today is October 26th, 2023. It's almost Halloween. A good time to start off this project, and we're going to start with the craft. Okay, so here we see Sarah and her parents moving into a new home. They're moving into Los Angeles area from San Francisco, and they've got this new place. And
Oh God.
yeah, they're just settling in. I think they bought this sight unseen, and they didn't know it's going to leak and everything. Anything, we got to repaint those walls. But what a lot of people don't realize is, I'm sure you guys have seen this movie. If you haven't, I can't help with spoilers. It's from 1996. So if you haven't seen it, maybe you should stop and go watch it. But of course, we know she meets up with three other high school witches. By the way, all of the actors were between what, like 23 and 29 at the time. But Sarah, this main character, is actually, she's not into witchcraft when this starts. She's actually telekinetic. She has telekinesis and can move things with her mind, and then happens to fall into these other gal pals with who are into the craft. So cool scene here. Keep your door shut.
Relax.
What do you mean, what's the matter with me? You're holding a freaking snake.
Hey! What the hell out
Here, I bought you a housewarming gift. That's it. He just broke the tile. The first thing. He had been in the house 10 minutes and he's broken the tile.
Wait.
First day at parochial school, by the way. Of course, they're going to put them in a Catholic school because what could be more ritualistic than that? Obviously, she doesn't have her uniform yet.
You look good. Good luck.
Here's your local coven, also known as the welcome wagon. There are some places in this movie that I will have to silence because it has a lot of music that's copyrighted.
Earth, air, water, fire. Maybe it's our fourth. Nancy
Lady
Campbell
got a
calls
noose
corners north,
hanging
south,
out of
east,
her
west.
locker.
Or make a circle. Maybe she.
So this, from left to right, is Rachel True,
I love a woman in
Fairuza
uniform.
Balk, and Neve Campbell. So here we see Neve Campbell's character Bonnie notice Sarah's telekinetic powers for the first time and kind of realizes, hey, this is the fourth witch we need for our coven. Because they are trying to align themselves with the power elements of earth, air, fire, and water, and they're missing one. Fun fact, Robin Tunney had just finished another movie right before this one, and it had to shave her head. So this is actually a wig through this entire movie. So of course she's going to get hit on by someone on the football team because that happens in every teen high school movie that there is. I believe this actor's name is Skeet Ulrich or something like that. Also not a teenager. I think he was like 25 at the time this was made. Okay, now that is actually something that is sort of in the realm of spell work, where she put her intention out into the world loudly. It was a forceful
So you're coming, right?
push
For
of
shopping.
whatever you want to say, her vocals to.
Hi,
Of
money.
course, it looks like she just
You get a
distracted him,
5-figure
but that
discount.
is how spells work. They're
Five-finger
better
discount.
when you actually put a lot of energy into it. So if you're
Sarah, where'd you live
working on
before?
something, yeah,
San
yell
Francisco.
into a candle or
Why'd you
something,
move?
or sing into it, depending on what
My
you're
dad
doing.
wanted to. Chuck's here too.
Here we're heading down, going to the local witch shop.
You need a
Well, the bay leaves on the door. Now, it must be hot as hell in there. She's got a lot of candles burning on the steps and all over the place. No, most places would not have that many going unless you had actually, someone had ordered all those candles like you were doing a spell for them.
what?
Put this in your bag.
No.
She said, hell no, I'm not stealing. That's not really smart to steal from a witchcraft store.
Steal from little ones.
That woman hex your ass.
These ones already have a diary.
This is different. You put spells and power thoughts in it, and then you don't let anyone else read it. Ever.
Now, her definition of what you actually do with the Book of Shadows was actually very accurate. He's like, hey, I think I'll go back in this back room, see what's up. Hey, that's not for you.
I'm sorry.
You play the slot machines? You got to pay me up first before I let you back there.
It was your mother's.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you want to give me this ring for a reading?
You're not like your friends.
Thieving little witches. If she knows they steal from her, I mean, you know, what kind of witch is she? Put some protection magic around your store.
More than that. Red is for love.
Red is for love.
Why you didn't read
They
that?
did have a witch on here to actually tell people, you know, help guide them to the right thing, what was going on.
You know, I've
So
never read anything
initially
about
she
this
said
stuff.
she couldn't go with them. She didn't have any
Now
money,
follow.
but yet she pulls out a 20.
Maybe you're a
So
natural witch. Your power comes from within.
she's a true magician.
Come on, Sarah.
I hope she actually stole it from Nancy. That would be funnier. So here they are running to their favorite spot, a nice coffee shop. You can see they're using the couch from the Friends set. I wouldn't sit on that thing. Okay, when they were making this movie,
It's gone that
Manon
we were
is actually
playing
a fictional
football.
god, so you don't have to go Google him
Manon
or try to
would be
study
the
him, and
stadium
certainly
that they
don't
played on. It would be the
putting
sun
lighting
that shone
candles on
down
your
on them.
altar to him because he doesn't
So does it look
exist.
like tonight
What
happened a
happened
lot?
was they didn't
No,
really
not like
want to
that.
offend anyone who was
Where'd you
Wiccan
learn
or
it?
other pagan
You're not your
religions
wish.
by using
I hate
a
it. It's always
real
getting
god in
screwed
the
up.
movie.
It's
So
like
they made up this one called
sometimes
Manon,
I'll want it to rain and it won't
Manon.
burst to my room and I'll just get
So yeah,
flooded.
totally not real. Made up just for this.
Right.
They say that Fairuza Balk actually said there were some rumors that she was Wiccan herself. She says she's not, but she was very into occult things, and she actually did purchase a metaphysical shop that had been in business a very long time, and they were having financial problems. So she purchased it to try to help keep it open. Unfortunately, I think it is closed now. Okay, we're going to fast forward beyond this teenage stuff. What happened was they kissed a little bit. Then he went back to school and told everyone they had sex. She confronted him. She's not happy. Now here we see Rachel Truth's character Rochelle has a nemesis, which everyone can see is Marcia from the Brady Bunch movie. Racist. Marcia. So there's little nuances in this film. She's made a reference to her hair. Sarah actually had a date go sour, so it sort of leads up to all the types of spells they're gonna cast later on. Now, the thing they're doing here is actually something that is used in witchcraft. It is by repeating one phrase over and over and over. It's sort of getting everyone in the coven on the same page, if you will. It's like getting the same vibration going, the same rhythm. So it's a way to actually get in tune with each other before you perform a ceremony and to raise energy. She said, I would rather you rush upon this blade than wear that ugly top ever again. She said, hey, I don't know you well enough for this. This is crazy. You told me we were going to the mall. Fun fact, athames that are used in ritual are often dull. They are not ones that you can actually cut with. Um, you'll find that the edge of them is not that sharp. And as above, so below is an accurate depiction in witchcraft. So here they're going to pass the cup around. They're actually going to say everything that they want, the different spells, who wants what, which we've been leading up to. Of course, Rochelle wants to get revenge for her racist nemesis. She wants to. Sarah wants to get the. Well, I don't know why this dupas to love spell on him. Bonnie she just want to be pretty. And Nancy wants a better life. She lives with her mother and her stepfather in a very small trailer, and she wants to step up into the world. So that is her wish. Here we see the spells they cast are starting to work. For some reason, he just decides, yeah, I'll carry your books and your friends' books, and I'll sit with you. And when they go to mass, come on, I cleaned that room up before I invited some people over for a slumber party. Let's play Twister. Doesn't everyone wear patent leather pants to a slumber party? Light as a feather, stiff as a board. How this was actually filmed was they put her on this metal rod, which was elevated in front of a green screen. And she was, Rachel True was a little bit upset because the padding of it, they had to put her clothes around the rods. She was like, this makes my hips look way too big. Of course, it works that quickly. You ever try to play with a Ouija board sitting there waiting for an answer? She's like, I am freaked out. So we're all right. You can't move. We need to at least let the camera pan around you before you fall down. Girls, are you doing lesbian things in here? Ooh, she done snatched her bald head in. And of course, anyone who casts actual spells knows that having someone's hair, which is called a personal concern, some part of their body, is a very powerful magical ingredient to include in your spell work, which would be hair, fingernails, saliva, other private liquids. I find it interesting that they're weaving her hair into her own for this spell, but it is sort of creating this bond where her whatever she wants to target to Laura, the other girl, would be even more powerful because it is a part of her now. Oh, what's happening? She said, I knew I shouldn't have used that new shampoo with tea tree in it. It looks terrible. That's what your racist ass gets. She's like, ooh, I got confidence all of a sudden. Bam. Okay, in this scene, we're actually going to see she's going to do a procedure and her back clears up. It's not a lot of fun to watch. Um, Pretty basic. As long as you know that, that's all that matters. Here's Nancy, regular home life. Her mother's like, "Come on in. I just made a tuna casserole." All right, here's where we definitely get into the horror movie genre because I don't know any witches that do this that they will tell you about.
I don't understand. What policy?
$175,000.
All right, guys. Now this was 1996, so $175,000 was a lot more than it is today.
Wait, are you saying that this goes to us?
All right, now she cast a spell, and this is a different way of benefiting from something. A lot of people think if you cast money spells or prosperity spells, that this is how it works, that someone has to die before you actually get the money. Um, just write your spell that you wanted to come either through hard work or the lottery or getting a promotion or whatever. It's fine. All right. Bonnie is now her back is all clear. She's one of the pretty girls. Um, Everyone has their spells. Everyone has the results of their spells. And now they're going to have the negative results of their spells. So here, obviously, this fool is outside. Let me serenade you. Because it's 3 in the morning, fool. I hope this isn't the same night. If it is, she really works late in that shop.
Suffer.
Okay, now this is true. If you cast a love spell or any spell, be prepared for the consequences before you cast it, because it must run its course. Once you start it, you can't stop it. So you really need to think about things before you actually begin
True
them.
magic
You
is
can't
neither
just
black
reverse
nor
it.
white.
She said, "Wow, I'm buying this cool pop-up
Going to
book."
invoke the spirit?
Got
Alright.
their spell book,
Let's
Invocation of
scroll
the Spirit,
It's called
which
Redemption.
actually is from a real spell book by the guy who designed the Rider-Waite Tarot.
Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the east. Hear me! Us.
She ain't just about you.
The guardians
This is
of the
actually very
watchtowers of the
accurate.
north by the powers of Mother and Earth.
She's like, "Peace
Hear
out."
us.
Aid us in our magical working on this May's Eve.
May's Eve, so they're obviously it's Beltane. Interesting fact about this scene, they were saying that when this was shot, the director, every time he would yell, "Go on, let me back up," the waves would wash in while they were doing this spell, this invocation, and you can see it coming up there. And whenever the director would yell cut, the waves would go back and wouldn't get up to where they were filming. And at one point, it completely washed away all of the candles and everything and the fire, and they had to start completely over. So, but whenever the director yelled cut, the waves would go back. Now, if this had been an era where there was a lot of cell phone use, their moms would be calling and say, "Where are you? Get your ass home." Really? She's the one they choose to walk on water? Jesus, she ain't. Yeah, we feel it. It's your crazy coming off of you. At this point, she has brought this fictional god into her, and here begins the insanity. They all looking like, I don't know if I signed up for this. See, somebody done called the popo. Here we see someone seeing the consequences of their spell, and she actually doesn't like what she sees. Revenge work or reversal work, it's like, oh, I didn't mean for it to go this far, but she can't turn it back around now. Once you put that energy out there, that's all there is to it.
What are you doing?
Now, she's already in the shower. She ought to get down to the Botanica and take a cleansing bath to get that stuff off of her.
What's the matter? What happened?
You need some hyssop to wash in. Okay, I skipped over a scene. There was one where this guy, Chris, actually tries to sexually attack Sarah, and she does get away from him. So his love spell is going completely wrong. So Nancy says, "What an opportunity. I think I'll get me some." Frankly, I don't find him that hot. I don't see what this is all about. No means no, Nancy. These drunken parties are always in a giant house, and the parents they're out of town for the weekend. Oh, these faces she makes. Don't squish your face like that. It'll make wrinkles later on. He's like, dude, I'm so wasted. That is the best that wig has looked this entire movie. Look at that old yellow taxi. You know the parents are going to come home and find that house trashed. Okay, now that's a bad wig. That's from the Ava Gabor collection, I believe. She is insane in the face in this scene.
You didn't exist. You are nothing.
All right, but this is a pretty cool thing. I like the boots. So here we have her directing more energy to him. You notice when you're in an argument with someone, they have a tendency to not go forward, they back up. He likes messing up that hair. And there it is. The parents are going to have a lot of stuff to clean up when they get home. Okay, she's freaking out. Every whole thing has gone way too far. So I've got to get in here and I got to think. Wait, did I leave the iron on at home?
Why do you want to leave the circle? I didn't say.
Because y'all are
I didn't say
nuts.
it. You're thinking.
Especially you. I knew drag queens with less eyeliner than that. Hey, wait, let's back up a minute. What happened? Why is she wearing that to school? They were all in Catholic school uniforms. She got a spiked collar on. Oh, she's got the skirt, so I guess that gets away with the dress code.
For the planet. Please don't do any more spells on me.
Oh, do more. What she'd actually done was a binding spell, or attempted to do a binding spell on her. This was a part that we skipped over a little bit. Actually, what they would do was they would actually force her out of the village.
Bye.
See you in homeroom. All right, she said, I'm going to the real witch. The one who knows stuff. She said, why don't your candles ever burn down?
What's wrong? Hold on, what's wrong?
Please.
Uh-oh, Spirit says, come on, you can show her the slot machines now. That'll take her mind off of it. How late is this shop open? Our employees would already be like, we are running the vacuum and going home. The one thing I do tell them to do is make sure you blow out all the candles before you lock the door.
This temple is
Okay, now
built
this is
very
actually
strong.
something, of course, most witches would kill for that space, but I think what they're having a reference to is ley
You have a
lines.
tremendous light.
So it's supposed to be a place of
more than any witch
power.
you ever know.
Where's all the blue
The
lights
boys are
coming
in
from,
there.
though? Are there velvet posters on the wall that we cannot see?
She's telling you to be
Cats
strong.
playing poker.
She was a witch too, of course. Didn't you know?
No.
She said, nobody told me. All right, now that's a pretty cool trick. There's that music you hear in every horror story when someone's running. And they always have the girl wearing a very tight top during the running scene. Okay, they're doing a sort of a negative glamour spell on her now,
They're gone.
where they're alerting her, hey, you know, what they're actually saying is that her parents' flight has gone down, they've been killed, and they actually doing this glamour spell on the television set, which you will see in a minute. So glamour spells, you know, they're actually meant to as more of self-confidence and the way you perceive yourself out into the world. So therefore, when you act with more confidence or sit up straighter or think of yourself more beautiful, then other people see that in you. It's not a really to interfere with TV waves. In other words, someone hacked into her Wi-Fi magically. You need a better password. Well, at least in here, they made the lights go out because most horror pictures, people are just walking around in the dark. They don't have the good sense to turn the light switch on. She at least has an excuse. Now, a behind the scenes look, it is said that they used 10,000 snakes, real snakes for this, for some of these scenes. I'd be like, no, no, I'm out of here. All right, the welcome wagon is back in the house. But first, we're going to have a pampered chef's party. It'll uplift you. She's like, no, I'm not signing up. I'm not buying nothing. This is once again, look, Fairuza Balk is actually an excellent actress in this because she even looks, look her in the eye, she looks totally nuts. And she does it all without getting lipstick on her teeth.
God.
Now this is in 96, which, you know, we're just out of the 80s a little bit. So I don't know about her grabbing her hair all the time because you know it's full of hairspray. She used mousse to hold that in place. Here's a grocery list. Can you pick up a few things for me? Dang, vicious. This is what teenage girls are like. Get more than two of them together and they just get out knives. Just, damn, there's no band-aids. Someone help me find the peroxide. Actually, this is not, you know, I'm joking. This is actually not cool. Here, Sarah has already taken in the power of the god. And she gonna screw with her. Ooh, you need an exterminator.
Give you a message. It's bad manners.
You didn't think these girls had manners when you met them, did you? Well, she didn't give her the finger.
What is going on?
What do you mean, what's going on? You signed up for all this and more. She's enjoying it. The girl fight begins.
Oh, relax. It's only magic.
Aw,
I don't mean to be.
the poor little thing.
and I'm sorry.
And yeah, don't be
No
trusting
more
no
games.
enemies saying this stuff. They wouldn't get
Yeah,
closer.
I'm
Let's
so
hug so
sorry.
I can knife you.
Good.
She said, good, now get out of my house.
I'm gonna go. One thing.
That's a good idea.
I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm. Harm against other people, and harm against the goth clothing industry.
Wait.
I want to play the
Bind
lottery
Nancy
before you
from
bind
doing
me
harm.
completely. What is all this paperwork? Where does she live? The Library of Congress? Man, look at all this laundry to do. Just to be grunting.
Where are you?
She's like, oh, you laid out your clothes for school tomorrow. How efficient.
Tricky.
She done Annie Lennox the thing. She walking on broken glass. As in most horror movies, after the big scene, everything is sunny the next day after lightning and storming and theatrics.
Sarah? Hi, Sarah. How are you? Good.
Okay, fun fact I don't think I mentioned before, Rachel True actually designed a tarot deck. She is a big tarot card reader, and it's called the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. We actually carry it in
Honestly,
our
we never
store at
wanted to go
Arimiges
that far.
Botanica. Some of the half the actresses here actually sort of stayed into the occult mysteries after this was over with. Of course, Neve Campbell became like the horror movie queen.
Do you still have any powers?
What you think about that, ladies? Another interesting thing here we see at the end, Nancy has gone totally nuts, clawing her face. That's just nurse is like, I have had enough of you with all this screaming. I can give you a shot. Originally, there was a scene supposed to be at the end where Sarah obviously felt bad, and she went to the hospital to try to heal Nancy. And I guess they thought it was more dramatic, just to, after all the crap she did, just to let her suffer her own consequences. These faces, go Fairuza. Okay, guys, so that was The Craft. I hope you learned a little bit in between the fun comments and some of the scenes about what was real in spells, what was fake, what was somewhere in the middle, like we said in the beginning. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to do a lot more of these. Like the video, and let me know in the comments, what do you want me to do next? This was we got a lot of material to choose from. I think I already have like 40 things written down of different movies we can choose from. So yeah. So I hope you got a little fun from the movie and a little fact from the movie. So until next time, this is Papa G, and my website is folkmagicstudio.com. Happy witchcrafting.